Major Music.
What's good? Coming at y'all with another video. If this is your first time here, I like to talk all things music production, whether it's topics as we're going to get into today, which we're going to talk about iMaschine. I like to talk about topics such as iPad music production apps, as well as like expansions for Maschine. In fact, more so the desktop version and plugins, pretty much all things music production, as well as the Major Music Lounge podcast, which you can catch new episodes here on my YouTube channel, as well as all podcast streaming platforms. Also, my name is D. Dot. That might have been a good thing to start off with, but you can follow me on Instagram at d._majormusic. Same thing on TikTok. Follow me on Twitter at d.mme. Today we're actually going to discuss Native Instruments discontinuing iMaschine. Now, many of you may know about iMaschine. If you've been making beats on the iPad, I would say for the last 5 to 10 years or so, you may have used iMaschine at some point. But for those of you that haven't and you want to know what this video is about, iMaschine is basically a iPad version of the Maschine desktop app. This actually happened a couple of days ago. Native Instruments released a statement on their website. I think they also sent an email as well. This is end of life for iMaschine, an official statement. We're writing to tell you that we have taken the difficult decision to discontinue iMaschine 2. You may have noticed that we have not been actively developing in the iMaschine 2 app, and we would like to thank you for your patience with the technical issues that have arisen following recent iOS updates. I just wanted to read that first section. So they go on talking about the support for iMaschine 2. Now, iMaschine, for me personally, like, it brings back some memories. For one, I remember, and this was even before like Beatmaker 3, because Beatmaker 3 came out in 2017. And at that point in time, I was already using iMaschine for at least a couple of years. One of the things that I did like about iMaschine when I first came across it was I am a Maschine producer. I make beats on the MPC-1, and I also use Beatmaker 3 on the iPad. So around 2014, when I first came across iMaschine, at that point in time, I was kind of going through different music creation apps on the iPad to find something that I really enjoyed creating with. And there was a lot of potential in iMaschine. In fact, I would say until I came across Beatmaker 3, remember that came out in 2017, but until I came across Beatmaker 3, I used mainly Beatmaker 2, and I also used GarageBand, and then I also used iMaschine. Now, what I liked iMaschine for is iMaschine to me was kind of like just something I could record some ideas into, and I could import it into the Mac version of Maschine and finish my project there. And the other thing, though, I felt that it had some limitations from the standpoint of on Maschine on my Mac, and whether you're on Mac or PC, to be honest, you could download like the full expansions. And of course, computers around that time, of course, not so much in 2023, but what I'm talking about is around 2014 or so, most of the iPads were like 16, 32, 64. You might have had a 128 or 256 if you're talking about a lot more storage around that time. And for that day and age, there wasn't a lot of creation, altogether being done on the iPad. Now on the iPad, I mean, I know some people, they solely make beats on the iPad. Some people even record their full projects on the iPad. Then I know some other creators that use iPad for like video creation. So the iPad has came a long way since 2014. with that being said, I felt like iMaschine lacked a lot of features that other music production apps had. For example, there was no way to use Audio Unit version 3 plugins in iMaschine. Also, things like, just generally speaking, the whole workflow, to me, it wasn't really like identical to the workflow that you would use on your Mac. Now, I don't mix inside of Maschine, but what I usually do is either export the stems into Logic or simply just drag and drop. That's also something that you can do. But I say that only to say, what if there are other creators that did want to arrange and mix their beat inside of iMaschine? And then secondly, I thought just not having a sampler nor the ability to be able to use a audio unit sampler inside of iMaschine was also a big con to me, or a big drawback, should I say. And you have standalone apps, for example, like Koala Sampler. Now, it's been out for quite a few years. Even mentioning Beatmaker 3 has a sampler inside, which kind of reminds me almost of like an MPC sampler. Segments by Elliott Garage is another great sampler that you can use in standalone or as a Audio Unit version 3 plugin. So there are quite a few samplers out there, and to say that Native Instruments didn't build a sampler inside of iMaschine, they were definitely behind on that. Outside of that, like I said, I mainly used iMaschine just to lay out some ideas. And one of the things that I liked about it is you could export that project and then finish it on the Maschine Mac version or PC version, whatever you're working on. One last thing that I would have liked to have seen inside of iMaschine is also the ability to use the Maschine controllers to create, and they never developed that part of it. Maybe in the future they come out with a new app that it's a little bit closer to what you see Maschine is on your Mac or your PC. And it's kind of interesting, given that a couple of weeks ago Logic Pro on the iPad was released, and hopefully from there other developers will start finding a way. I haven't done it, but I think I saw other people use, for example, their MPC as a controller in the iMPC2 app. So maybe that's something later down the line that Native Instruments does, come out with a whole new app and make some functionality with the Maschine controllers a little bit closer to what the Mac versions are. But just I think we're in a day and age where the processors on the iPads are more than capable to be able to do more in terms of content creation, music production, whatever it is that you're getting into. There's an iPad out there for everyone to be able to work or create on. So that's something. Hopefully Native Instruments, maybe they take some time off, come back with a much improved app. But if you were looking for a great music production app to start off with, I actually have a couple of other videos here on this channel talking about iOS or iPad music production, some of my favorite apps to create with, and more. I'll actually leave that information in the description, so go ahead and check that out. I just wanted to talk about iMaschine and Native Instruments discontinuing iMaschine. I wish it was still around. It was some real good times that I had. I remember I had like a iPad mini, and I used to create a lot of beats in iMaschine as well as GarageBand around that time. Never made any videos like I have with Beatmaker, but I wish Native Instruments would have done more with iMaschine. They had a lot of potential they never really capitalized on, and I was a fan of what they were doing. I'm still gonna be, of course, a Maschine producer on the Mac, but other than that, I do make a lot of beats on my iPad as well. So that's all I got for y'all today. If you like this video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, Remember, follow me on Instagram at d._majormusic. Same thing on TikTok. And until next time.
Major Music.